Is it over yet, Hoff?
What's up?
I said, is it over yet? Is the bear market over yet?
I don't know. It's putting me to sleep. I can tell you that much.
It kind of doesn't. It doesn't get worse than. It doesn't get worse than the biggest company in the world taking a 10% knock in a day.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like over $1 trillion just got evaporated from the stock market. It's like that's a lot of money. It's I see. It said that Nvidia set the record for the biggest downturn in one day in stock history. There was like over $300 billion is gone in a day from Nvidia.
It's so crazy too because I mean this is still early investigations, right? Like you got to take everything with like a grain of salt. I don't understand how like we've seen so many antitrust, anti-monopoly lawsuits um, over the years. I feel like the biggest one that I remember was like, do you remember like the Bell Atlantic or maybe it was Comcast lawsuit from like the early to mid 2000s, Hoss?
Yeah, it was it Comcast, AT&T, and Bell?
I think that that's right
Yeah,
because they were going out there and just like buying up um, other media companies. And they were buying up other cable companies, um, and they were going out there with the goal of cornering the market, of controlling the whole um, distribution of media market, right? And that was a totally reasonable approach. In the case of Nvidia, you're talking about a company that built products. Their products were the best. The software and infrastructure that was required to for their products to operate had to be specialized, right, in order for their products to work the best as they could to maximize performance. And so this is sort of feels to me like a desperate attempt to halt innovation at any cost, right, from the government to try to like get in between something and say, look, we found an opening to slow. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to play out. I know that when the government goes after you, the DOJ goes after you, they think they're going to win, right? So, like,
yeah. They never do though. All they do is just get their hand out, and then it's like back to business, I guess.
well,
I don't know.
if they break up Nvidia, what they won't do is tell Nvidia that they can't operate certain lines of business. So that's number one. What they may make Nvidia do is break up their business into different sub businesses, right? That's traditionally how it in general you don't see antitrust come into play for a company that's not doing a merger and acquisition deal. Like there's no current like merger acquisition deal that's going on that's like triggering an antitrust violation. This is like sales practices. This is a question of like sales practices and software and hardware. You know what I mean? All sort of playing a role. So it's very weird. It's a very weird time, I think, in to sort of try to get in here and to make a claim that there's an antitrust violation with Nvidia, but it is what it is. So,
It's still worth $2.5 trillion even after all this.
and this
It's
this is like clearly a buying opportunity. You know what I mean
oh
for Nvidia,
yeah, it's
NFA, but
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. The amount of money that just got evaporated though is just kind of wild to me. It's just like so much money. It's basically the entire crypto market just got evaporated from the stock market. That's really what happened. It's just nuts. Yeah, I was tuning into the space that you had with Oasis. It was a good space.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've always been a fan and a good friend of Oasis, and happy to support that ecosystem. But you know, really today we're here to talk about building on Oraichain. You know
Yeah,
what
for
I mean? That's
sure.
that fire. Like, love Oasis, but this is business time. So Vinay, what's going on, man? How's it looking over there?
Yeah, things are going pretty much great. Like we have a couple of great projects coming out of Builders Basecamp. As we already mentioned in the previous page that Builder Basecamp will kickstart the fire of builders coming out of Orai chain ecosystem, because definitely Orai has a great potential as a tech and as well as a ecosystem. And now we will be just pushing great projects coming out of Orai chain. So I'll just hand over the mic to Grahil, who will coming from the Deepers DAO. So he'll be quickly introducing all the projects one by one, and then projects can come up and share their ideas, what they are building on, and why they are building on Origin, and what are their thoughts on building on Origin, like if they are facing any kind of problems or like anything and everything during their whole journey of around 1 month. And like it's been almost 1 month since we have started the builder base camp. And yeah, Grail, over to you.
Hi, hi. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Hi, 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 Horse. Hi, Vinay. Hi, Tyri. It's been great seeing you all. So yeah, from the past 1 month, like I have been like in contact with like all of these amazing devs, and these guys are like shipping some cool stuff. Like a couple of them are my favorite. Like one guy is building a name service that is like I'm really excited about, and of course like couple of projects that like there's one project that is like one click smart contract development. So yeah, like without wasting any time, I would like to like invite every builder who is like current right now. You guys can just like press the button to speak, and you guys come up so that we can like have a great introduction, and like we can like kick off this like a builder journey. So I will ask Rhythm, Jay, Akash, Ronak to come up to the stage.
Grail, sorry to interrupt you in between, but I guess it will be little bit difficult to have everyone on the as a speaker. I guess Twitter space will crash, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. So, how about like let's go one by one.
Yeah, that will be better.
Let's start with Ronak. Ronak is like I Ronak is one of the like great developers. Like he has been active in the like crypto journey, I guess, from like around 2 years. So Ronak, can you just come up on the speaker stage and like tell us what you're building, how it's been your experience till now, and what is the vision?
And Haas, do you see an invite from him?
No, I don't actually. That's what I was just looking.
All right, send him an invite.
Mm-hmm.
And who else is going to be speaking? You said Akash.
Yeah, Akash is also there.
Okay.
Akash, you can also
All right, I'm gonna send an invite.
Omkar, you can also send the invite.
All right. Perfect.
Okay, we're gonna wait.
I guess while we're waiting for people to come up, Haas, I let me know when we give me the hand whenever we start getting these guys on stage with us.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Interesting, interesting. We have Ronak. Hi, Ronak. So how about like give us your introduction? What you like? Give a little bit intro about you. How are you like? What are you building, and what is the vision that you are thinking of that product? So over to you, Ronak.
Right. So, as Grahil explained, I was building into the Web3 ecosystem from last 2 years, but I was a bit new, like in the Cosmos ecosystem. So, Deepverse DAO and or a chain builder, ours helped me a lot to build on Cosmos. So, what we are building is a naming service. You can buy names like .array from our product. We are done with the contract. We are trying to deploy it on the Origin testnet, but we encountered some error. We got help from the Deepverse DAO. Uh, we had a great experience building on the Cosmos chain. Uh, we are in the
Yeah, can Ronak, can you tell us like what you are building right now?
we are building a name services. User can come and choose out like various domain names they have, uh,
Mm-hmm.
purchase them, and like
Mm-hmm.
obviously trade on them.
And
Um,
what's been the inspiration of that, how much has been completed, is there a demo that is available right now that can be shared? Maybe you can share it on Twitter space only, or maybe tag everyone who is like presented here.
like I don't think so. Ki we'll be able to share the demo on Twitter Space.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm just
uh,
yeah, you can go
uh,
ahead and share whatever like is in your mind.
yeah, we are done with the smart contract. Shiom is also here. He implemented the smart contract. I work with the front end.
Mm-hmm.
So we are almost done with both of the things, but uh, still the integration work is pending. So
Mm-hmm.
we are working on that. Shivam can like explain his experience developing the smart contract more here. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would like to ask Cosmos House and Tyre, like what are your thoughts on like this name service and stuff, and do you have any other suggestions for Ronak to make it amazing?
Yeah, I guess understanding the role that a name service plays in the ecosystem is really important, right? Offering a name service is excellent, but having that name service integrated into the wallet of the ecosystem seems like that would be the first step that I would take. Right? Is understanding what the main wallets in the ecosystem are currently. You have Kepler Leap and obviously O Wallet. MetaMask as well will be available soon on the EVM side. So that ends up being like one important touch point. Having a domain name, having sort of your name service is great if you can use it to send assets or bundle profiles together. So I'm curious, like what your plan is on seeing it adopted. Not so much just like what the tech is, but how do you envision it being used?
Ronak, you there?
like uh, as you said, it will be great to have assets be named and used on Bumble profile, na, right? If I heard it correct.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Uh,
just, I guess maybe you can explain for everybody that's here how you practically plan to see people use their domain name, and then where you plan to have it integrated for people to use it in the future.
Obviously they can name the assets from our services, uh, but I am bit lagging in where exactly we can fit the product into. Uh,
Yeah, so I
like
mean, for me, it seems like you would want to do things like making sure that the NFT market, the primary NFT markets on the ecosystem, are integrated with domain names, so that people can send NFTs with their domain name, or that domain name can be visible on your NFT marketplace profile, right? Obviously, the
also the
wallets.
if we can name the AI agents on the Oraichain or something around AI agents.
Yeah, I mean that is another. I mean, when you start talking about like instantiating an AI agent and naming it and knowing who you're reacting to, that's a great use case for a name service. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more on how you see that working.
Um, Actually, I'm not that much envisioned about where exactly we'll be. We tried to put it as an MVP on the Origin. so we can add like multiple use cases around the name service.
No issues, Ronak. I guess Terry just mentioned few good ideas which you can definitely think around and see where we can place the all the name service project in the Oraichain ecosystem. Definitely, I'm sure you must have written all the cool ideas that I have been giving to you. And also, I suggest you just start working and start figuring out these ideas and see where this where you can take this. And definitely I'm sure Grail must have provided you with Tyree's Calendly, so you can also check with Tyree if he will be available sometimes next week or so. If you need any other suggestions from Tyree, Tyree, is it fine, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Vinay, I'm gonna share with you my Calendly, and then you can send
Okay.
it to all of our participants. I won't post it publicly, or else everybody's going to be asking
Yeah,
for
yeah, sure,
uh,
definitely.
a meeting, right? So let me try to. I want to sort of take a second to talk about uh, the process for being a founder, because we don't. I think so often, Haas, like we spend a lot of time talking about what we're building, but we're not talking about why we're building, who we're building it for. Um, so it's great to be able to build good tech and to build something that we think is going to be valuable in a hypothetical way, but actually being able to go to market with that thing is very different than saying I can code it, right? And so what I encourage everybody here that is a founder to do is to start even before you write one line of code, right? Put together the most simple version of your pitch deck for your idea as you can, and start sharing it with other founders in the ecosystem, whether it's Oraichain ecosystem or other ecosystems outside, right? And the developers advocate program is really great, and I know Builders Basecamp has its own community, but also get out. Like, don't be afraid to tag me and say, hey, will you introduce me to Talus Protocol or introduce me to the O Wallet team or any of those things, right? That's what I'm here for. That's what Haas is here for. So, with something like the name service, you need to know where it's going to be integrated with, and you need that collaboration early, right? And you need so I don't wait. If you're saying that you're going to have your name service used for AI agents, well, then you need to talk to whoever is building AI agents in the ecosystem. And if there's not somebody building AI agents in the ecosystem right now, that's like building that as a service, then maybe your solution is front running market fit, right? So I want to like caution people with sort of assuming what is going to work and say, well, I'm going to build it and then all of the partnerships will come after. I actually am like a firm believer that before you ever start developing anything, you need to have a lot of good partners that are around you. And I guess to sort of like talk about that anecdotally, right? I'm building a project right now that is an omni-chain clearinghouse for native asset DeFi on any blockchain, right? This is a project that I'm building right now in collaboration with one of the other founders of Oraichain. Now, before we did all the technical specs. We knew what it was going to take to build it. We assessed it and said it's feasible. And then we said, is there market fit for it? Let's talk to all of the potential partners that we're interested in. Let's talk to Near Foundation. Let's talk to Proximity Labs, to Ton Foundation, to Atom Accelerator, to Osmosis, to everybody, right? Let's talk to everybody. Let's share the idea and let's build up that collaboration. And then what's really great is that when you go and you bring that at that early stage before you sort of get to your sales stage, that's where your really good relationships come from, right? Is when you go out there early and you say, "This is what I'm doing. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me how I can improve it." Now you're making sure that your collaborators, that you're building an alignment with a greater um, momentum, culture, ethos for the ecosystem, right? So um, don't be afraid to go out there and proverbially shake hands with people and get into meetings right away, because those are going to be the things that help you successful when you're ready to go to market later. And I guess the last thing I'll say about this is that you if you've been in Web3 long enough, you'll find that there's a lot of people after they've built their product that say, now I need to go out and sell it, right? And that's really hard, right? Because now you've built what you've built. It's already fixed. The opportunities for integrations with other projects are limited to how you see the world, your perspective, right? And customization of an implementation with another protocol or something might now be really hard. Now you might be looking backwards and saying, I need to reverse engineer or rebuild different aspects of my project because I haven't aligned with what the ecosystem needs out of the gate, right? So it also ensures sort of your future proofing, and you're also making your project forward compatible overall. So, anyways, Ronak, please. Reach out to me. I shared my Calendly with Vinay. Please book a time and let's talk about how to connect you with all of the teams that are going to need your work in a Oraichain ecosystem.
It was well said, Tyree.
Thank you. I'm an old man, so
No, it's very true. You have to
Interesting
think of stuff
insights.
beforehand.
I feel like an old man right now. I'm wearing my Pittsburgh Pirates hat and I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm almost 40, guys. Don't
Yeah.
let me come in here and drop knowledge on you. Like
We're getting old.
Tyrese 40 still Tyrese youngest among all of us.
100%. Okay,
Okay, I guess.
so
Yes,
let's
great.
move to
Next,
next
please.
next builder. We have Mohammed Gauss. Mohammed Gauss, can you just come up? Can you just give me a request to Gauss so he can bring you up stage?
I just sent an invite.
Great. Yeah, Gauss, over to you, man.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Gauss, and right now I'm building a project called Aura Audits. So it's something I'm really passionate about. So the idea came from seeing the challenges developer face with writing smart contracts, like secure contracts, and writing optimized and gas efficient contracts on Cosmosm. So I wanted to create a tool that simplifies this process. So what Aura Audit does is it allows developer to add their Cosmosm contracts and get them audited and optimized using AI suggestions. And uh, what great is that if they want to take this thing further, they can contact us and we can connect them with partnered auditors, and they can get their contracts fully audited from them. And we have also added a feature where users can put their ideas in message box, and they can get like a very basic smart contract written by a by an AI. And uh, we choose to build this on Orai because of its focus on AI and AI integration with blockchain, and which open up so many possibilities. And we are even creating a standard similar to what Open Zeppelin does for Ethereum, where users can import factory contracts or directly deploy various type of contract. And they just have to go to our website, and they can either install the library in their local folder, or they can just use the UI to deploy like many contracts like token contract, NFT governance, vault contracts, and liquidity pools, and maybe a whole protocol like maybe a lending protocol and many more. And soon we are integrating a Cosmosm ID also into our website so that anyone can write Cosmosm contract directly in their browser in client side. That's it.
So my question for you is, what's the primary interface for your project? Is this envisioned as an extension for VS Code, or is it like a consumer platform that people can use and then copy and paste the code over to their IDE?
So is it a more of an extension of Remix or Solana ID for both like for Cosmosm? So like uh, when I see that there isn't many great IDs for Cosmosm present on any chain, so I decided to create one.
And is this something that can be used on any Cosmosm chain? And then I guess the other question is, what version of Cosmosm are you supporting right now?
So right now we are working on like a little bit of old version of a Cosmosm because of like the AIs and we are using Claude. So this trained on little bit of older versions, and we have a lot of data to like feed the AI of older version of Cosmosm. That's why we chose little bit of origin older version.
Very cool. And what's the sort of MVP or POC that you're planning that you would like people to try first?
So right now we are not done with the UI thing, and like building an like we are facing some challenges like building ID on the client side because you know already like it's like a little bit hard building an ID on the client side and on website. So we are working on it, and I'm sure we will get the MVP done by the end of this week. We have written some contracts also, factory contracts for it, and we have integrated the Claude AI also, but we are not done with the UI fully.
Very cool. I sometimes I wonder about where where the sort of biggest value add for AI and the developer processes. When I was in Brussels last month uh, for Near's AI showcase, and they're currently working on a product called the AI Developer, and that's a very general name, but the idea is that you will be able to tell this AI agent what you need, and it have a group of sub agents that handle every part of your development lifecycle, where they're handling the front end, the back end, infrastructure. They're writing everything, right? And all you need to do is deploy it. But they're designing. They're handling designing, coding your website, like every single piece of it. So the idea is that it's supposed to make the building process, the sort of building process 0 to 1, a lot faster. Um, but it's never going to be the type of thing that takes you sort of at the other end, of the spectrum, right? Which is sort of the how do you get from like how do you get to become an A+ project, right? That is original with excellent market fit and all of these other things, right? It's good for AI is great for like standing something up quickly, to getting to a prototype of an idea quickly, but it's not sort of great at sort of finishing it and polishing. So I'm curious, as you talk about using AI for optimizing code. um, what's your experience with that so far? Has it been effective in your own, cosm wasm development journey to help optimize your contracts?
So like as you said, like AI cannot replace a complete developer, and we are not trying to do that. What we are trying to do is we are just making the process of a developer to write a contract like little bit easier. And like what he can do is the developer can just add a prompt and he will get the whole code from the AI. Then what needs to do is just edit the code and add whatever and solve the bugs by himself. So this will just faster will fast the process of writing a smart contract like maybe 50% or 60%. That's what we are trying to do. And what I have realized that like using AI for like minor bugs like and for smart or small gas optimization is very great. Like the Claude and ChatGPT are trained using like billions of lines of codes from all over the internet. And if you are facing a problem, and instead of just going on Google or using Stack Overflow, like it's better to use an AI, and it will solve your problem within seconds. And that's what we are trying to achieve in our project. Like user can do all these things in single interface and single UI. We are making like onboarding into cosm wasm ecosystem easy. Like it is easier to onboard in Solana also, like comparatively for a developer, or like it's very easier for a developer to onboard in Solidity also. So what we are trying is we are trying to make it as easier as that for cosm wasm.
Yeah, that's great. And I guess the my last question for you here um, is sort of on, again, on the role of AI, right? So there are sort of the I guess my question here is, do you see a role for there to be feedback as well, right? Where you ask AI to produce some code for you, and that's fine, but actually, you also need that AI explanation of the code. You have to understand why something is written in a certain way, why the AI helped to make that decision. So, have you considered that in your design of the sort of like two-way communication that is required in building a system like this?
Yeah, we have like thought about it. Like whenever like someone ask a prompt, like the AI can add explanations also of those code or lines, like why the AI choose those methods or wrote those lines. And we have thought about it, and we will definitely work on it a lot in future.
Yeah, I think that would be. I mean, that would be really great, right? Being able to like both have that inline annotation of the code and also being able to understand the reasoning for some design decisions, I think is valuable because eventually, what we want is our developers uh, to learn how to prompt better as well, right? So it's like if you start learning why the AI starts making certain decisions, you will learn how to ask the AI for better output over time. So the quality of the prompt increases, the efficiency increases. It's really a relationship, right? It's not a tool where you do something and you always get the same results or anything like that. It's something that can really improve depending on quality of what the user offers. So you said you'll be done you'll have an MVP ready by the end of this week.
Yeah, we'll have an
No
MVP.
pressure, no pressure, but I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, no
Um,
pressure.
I'm excited to try it. It would be very fun to get my hands on the tool. So I'm looking forward to it. Please share it with me, and again, feel free to
Yeah,
join a chat.
definitely.
If you want to book a time to discuss or share anything with me, let's talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
Great. Uh, let's move to the next builder. Rhythm, can you just come up
What's
and let?
what's the what's the handle?
It's rhythm at the rate rhythm nag 64.
Hmm. Let me see. Uh,
Maybe Rhythm, you can request to speak. There is a request button on the left
Yeah,
corner,
Rhythm, you can
left
request
bottom.
to speak.
I just sent an invite. Here we go.
Hey, hello. Uh,
Hello.
this is Rhythm, and I'm building a cross-chain lending and borrowing platform on Oraichain. So our vision is to, seamlessly uh, make the process of lending and borrowing assets across multiple blockchains pretty easy. So for this, we are using IBC protocols and Cosmos SDK, and we are leveraging the Oraichain's Oracle services through which we can get the exact data which will make our lending and borrowing platform with real-time information. So the thing is, right now in various cross-chain lending and borrowing platforms and all the DeFi's, the UI particularly is so much difficult to understand, but we'll be making it with very user-friendly UI so that user will have much ease to lend and borrow the assets cross-chain. So yeah, that's what we are building right now. Uh, our contracts are almost ready, and our front end is our front end work is more than 50% ready, and we'll be shipping it uh, maybe with the next week. Yeah.
So what assets are you going to support in the first version?
In the first version, we'll be supporting many assets. Uh, Firstly, we'll be supporting ORI and USDC and other assets. Those normal. Basically, we'll be more focusing on stable coins right now.
And you're focusing on them from outside of the ecosystem, or I just want to understand how like the cross chain aspect is working via IBC. Are you letting people lock their collateral on an external chain, or are you borrowing from an external chain? Like, how is that working exactly?
So yeah, we'll be using external chains to lock their assets, and then on the ORI chain, we'll issue them uh, the required assets so that they can use as per their needs.
So, are the users bridging to a ride chain and then um, lending natively, or will it be sort of an abstraction experience where they don't know what chain they're interacting with, or they don't have to care?
Basically, in our interface, they don't have to care what chain they are using under the hood, but uh, um, we'll be majorly focusing on ORI chain and using it as a what do you using it under the hood. So yeah.
Okay, I'm interested. I feel like one of the when you sort of pitch a cross chain lending platform, right? It would be good to make sure that you're also pitching some examples of the types of user experiences that people can expect, right? So right now I don't have like a very clear idea of the user experience that people will have. um, Basically, you told me you were building a cross-chain lending platform, but then you told me that you're supporting USDC and Orai, which are both on Orai chain, right? So I would love to understand a little bit on some different user workflows that you expect end users to experience.
Uh, so Wait a minute. I just told you about the stable coins, but we'll also support the native tokens of other chains such as ETH, Sol, and the Cosmos ecosystem supported chains, which user can lend and borrow from our platform. We'll just use IBC as inter-blockchain communication for doing all cross-chain interactions with those. Uh,
Okay, Haas, what's the IBC channel to ETH?
What your question is? What is the route to ETH?
What is the IBC channel? Who's working on IBC for ETH?
Uh,
I know Composable was doing it, but I feel like there was another team too that was doing it. Maybe I mean Toki is working on IBC for between BNB and ETH, right?
uh, yeah.
yeah, I can't remember who exactly. I thought it was Composable that was doing to ETH.
Well,
ETH, maybe Polymer and Picasso has implementations with ETH.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense. Because I know Picasso was working on Picasso. So Picasso is like a part of Composable Foundation, right? So I know that they were working on Polkadot and Solana, and I remembered them working on ETH, but I didn't know if it was ready yet. I feel like it was still on testnet for ETH. Is that right, Rhythm?
Uh, no, Picasso has one implementation with ETH. That's live on the mainnet. Uh, I have a little bit of doubt about that.
Okay, no, that's cool. Haas and I know the founder of Picasso, Brainjar, and you know, I haven't followed too much up on their work, but we do have a group open with Picasso. So maybe if it's interesting for you to sort of meet with them, that would be
Hmm.
a good connection for you to understand what integrating with them looks like. Um, I know that Picasso is also working on Mantis, which is the Solana L2. So that would be, I think, another interesting place as you're talking about cross chain lending to look for an integration. Um,
Hmm.
I
Cool, cool.
yeah, it's seems exciting and promising. Uh, so how far did you say you are from launching your sort of POC?
We'll be launching it on the next Tuesday or Wednesday.
And that's going to be on Oraichain testnet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Please get in touch with me if you are looking for any um, connections to other ecosystem projects. I would also love to see if you have a pitch deck for this. I would love to see your pitch deck and maybe get some deeper ideas on what you're working on. Haas, do you have any sort of questions about this?
No, I mean I'm all for it, to be honest with you. So I'm a huge. I'm always looking for borrowing and lending and things like that. Always, like in all of blockchain. So
Yeah.
I'm almost I know that there are some people on my team that would be mad at me for saying this, but I'm anti-derivative in crypto, right? So like I'm not a big fan of like like ETF sort of like 3x long assets in the ecosystem. I'm not really a big fan of perps. I know that Oraichain does have some perps protocols, but like there are I'm not like a huge like fan of that. I think that it kind of um, is used the wrong way a lot of times, and the most pure version of leverage is just a lending market, right? Being able to have a very diverse lending market with all of the assets on the chain available to borrow. Not just I think Orchai does a really good job with their lending protocol, but it's limited in scope, right? So you can't borrow, for instance, Orai, or you can't borrow Atom, and that means that you can't actually organically short those assets. So it's a market efficiency question, right? Where, of course, anybody that like you'll probably hear me say like, oh, shorting, borrowing a bunch of atom and dumping it is a terrible idea, right? But it's the that's how shorts happen, like in the real world, right? Is that you acquire those assets from somewhere, you borrow them, you sell them on the market, and then you pick up a larger amount when the price dips. You repay your loan in kind, and you keep the profit in either the number of assets, or you liquidate those for the cash. So right now, Orchai doesn't enable that efficiency for our market, because all it lets you do is go long on speculative assets. It lets you borrow USDT, and you can't borrow any other type of like native assets there. So I think that there's a lot of room in terms of like overall market efficiency in our ecosystem for new lending opportunities. And I look forward to seeing what you're building, Rhythm, and it sounds like it could be a big value add for the ecosystem.
Yeah, definitely. We'll discuss it with you more at the later stage.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely need that. I mean, it would be nice to be able to borrow other assets right now. So, I mean, I'm all for it. And if there's anything I can help out with, obviously, I'm here to help. So, I think about every ecosystem that I know of that's has done well or flourishes has this. So, I mean, that's just kind of part of the game, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean every efficient market needs a place to trade, needs lending, a diverse amount of lending. It needs obviously a great ledger. You know what I mean, to make sure that we're keeping everybody's IOUs honest, right? These are like the founding principles of the foundational sort of elements of our economy. Then you sort of get into the sector by sector situation, right? Like, and you need derivatives. I'm not saying that you don't need derivatives, but the issue with sort of the synthetic derivative situation is that it's detached from the collateralization, which I think can be problematic for actually creating efficient markets, right? So, for instance, in a lot of perpetual exchanges, you can take a short position without actually moving the market at all, right? Without actually selling any assets, and I think that ends up being really problematic. So I'll
Yeah,
talk.
I'm the same boat as you. It always worked. Like derivatives always scared the shit out of me.
Well, when you have these sort of synthetic derivative situations, you end up, because you're not actually trading on the real market. Your trades don't they you're basically open yourself to somebody else deciding which direction the market is going to move, right? And it actually fragments liquidity even more, right? So hypothetically, if you have like a Bitcoin USDT pair, and then you have a synthetic, you know derivative, Bitcoin USDT pair on a different exchange that's siloed off from the main liquidity, then you know they might correlate, and there might be like a reference point between those trading pairs, but there's no direct connection. They don't influence each other with that trading volume. So, anyways, I'm hyped. I feel like there are some things that I want to see in the ecosystem. More lending is definitely one of them. I would also, you know, like to see some stable coin action, but I'm going to sort of go easy on that. I have a vision for stable coins in the future, that it's not just sort of like about Oraichain, but the big thing, Haas, though, is that we still don't use crypto in real life, right? Um,
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
we gotta. If there's one thing that the whole ecosystem needs to like get together and do, like the closest thing that we get is like trading secondary market on Rug Leo, like that. Like that's our like currency, right? Is that we use crypto to like trade NFTs, and to buy and sell NFTs, but that's like as far as we've ever gone. Otherwise, it's like we buy and sell other crypto, and that's it. Like we're not using crypto to like buy goods. We're not using crypto to buy services. People in e-commerce are not integrating crypto into their front end. So I think that there is a huge opportunity in the e-commerce world that's totally untapped to start getting into like how do we take the thousand plus many thousands of chains, unify them all together so that you can have a transactional currency that's collateralized by the $2.3 trillion in crypto market cap, right? Like that's the future because Bitcoin's the store of value, but there's still no transactional currency. So, and obviously, Haas, you've heard me ranting about this for days, so I'm not gonna like go too deep into it anymore. But um, who else do we have, Vinay? We got more speakers.
Yeah, we have
Mm,
last builder. We have Jay. Jay, can you share? Can you just click on the invite button and come up? And would love to have a chat with you as well.
I just sent an invite. It's the Kumar, right?
yeah,
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 just
yeah,
sent
yeah.
definitely.
an invite. While we're waiting, I seen Tyree. Japan is making some regulations for crypto.
Yeah, I was, I don't know. I was looking at something earlier where I don't even remember what I was reading earlier. I felt like you remember like a couple of months ago, um, where we had, or maybe it was last month, right? Where SoftBank like had a $13 billion loss.
Yeah,
I mean, so that basically like sent like a ripple through like the whole global economy or whatever. Um, but anyways, I wish I had the post, but there was a the founder or maybe it was like the CEO um, of SoftBank was basically comparing himself to Jesus. Um,
Hello guys, I'm Jay. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Actually, my phone is asking me to give the permission of the mic.
Yeah, no, but you're okay. We can hear you. So yeah, go ahead and let us know. Tell us what you're working on.
Okay. My fellow friend and me, we are building a very simple thing on Oraichain that is a prediction marketplace. A user can predict Oraichain price that will rise or down, or they can earn on their betting. Very simple thing. A user can connect our dApp to the O wallet. Then user can bid the price of the Oraichain token will goes up or goes down. If the prediction is successful, then user can earn reward on their prediction. Our backend logic is powered by Cosmos smart contract written in Rust. These contracts manage and creation, operation, settlement, prediction of markets, ensuring security and transparency on Origin blockchain. Our
And so
concept is very simple.
for your oracles, are the oracles coming from
Yeah, that's why we have an issue of fetching the data from Origin. As we told the DevRel of Oraichain. So he told me to use static data right now. Then he'll give me the API of Oracle. Then we connect the real-time data.
Super cool. And are you planning to only support assets on Oraichain right now, or are you planning to expand to other assets as well? Did you hear my question, Jai?
Uh, are we audible?
Hello, I'm audible.
Okay, maybe
Yes.
some network issues there. Yeah, Jay.
Yeah. Are you planning on supporting any other assets or just Orai token?
Just Orai tokens.
Okay, so this is the only drawback that I see here for you as a sort of business model. I think it's a great application. Definitely something that would be important for our ecosystem, but because the liquidity is so small, right? And I have to be like very like straightforward about that, right? The liquidity is fairly small, but it takes very little effort to manipulate the price action. Now, on one hand, that manipulation, if it's incentivized through sort of this prediction market gambling mechanism, um, really it just results in a net positive because that means that there's going to be more trading volume, more people trying to trade the asset to manipulate, right? That will eventually sort of balance itself out. But I'm curious on, how you see manipulation, or in the market, sort of playing a role in your prediction marketplace.
Actually, we are not maintaining the pool for a particular uh, pair. We are just getting the price for that particular bit, and if it goes up, then we credit some more amount to the user. We are not providing or maintaining the pool for the pair. We are not maintaining the pool actually, so we don't need much liquidity for that.
No, I guess I understand that. So it's similar to the way that in Pancake Swap, right? On the old version of the prediction marketplace, some people say up, some people say down, and that whole pool of everybody that bet, depends on the odds. That will be the sort of 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, payout depending on the balance and ratio of whether people are betting on the bull side or the bear side. From my perspective, is the reason why somebody like Pancake Swap only offers that on major asset pairs like BNB or Bitcoin and Ethereum is that the manipulation of those pools, um, even though they're not maintained by the prediction team, right? It's separate. The manipulation of those pools is really hard because it requires so much liquidity to be able to move the price. In the case of a ride chain, even though you're not maintaining the pools, the you're talking about maybe under 20,000 or $30,000 can move the price 1 to 2% in either direction. So there's a significant manipulation that's possible that you're not involved with, but definitely would affect the outcome of each bid on your product, if that makes sense.
Actually, we have also restrictions for the bidding. Like a user can bid up to a particular amount on a one bid.
Okay, so you're basically the trade-off here is that the incentive cannot be by keeping the prediction bidding amount small. It's sort of like a max bid in the casino that gets you to. It's do I think am I thinking about that the right way, Hoss? Where like
Yes, yes, yes.
where like roulette doesn't like you the odds are not in your favor because there's always going to be a max bet and it won't let you double down basically to too big of an extreme. You know the concept that I'm talking about, Haas? It's like,
Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, well, I guess in theory you're never a 50-50 if you did red and black because there's green, but no, I know what you mean. Like there are people that have a strategy at the casinos that kind of do that. Like they just go there with like unlimited amount of money, and their goal is just to win one bet, and they'll sit there the entire time until they win that bet because all they'll do is just add, they'll just double their money every time until they finally hit that number or hit, or red or black. So yeah, but you you know you run the risk of red hitting 20 times in a row if you keep trying black or something, and then it's like the casino may at some point say, nah, you're not allowed to bet this much. So no, I know what you mean.
yeah, I mean, when you're, I'm terrible at gambling. So like, I remember when people would, even in crypto, there's this sort of DCA strategy that's this like, this martingale DCA strategy where like if it dips to a certain price level, then I put a certain amount in. If it dips to the next price level down, then I'm gonna double down and go heavier on my investment, and I'm gonna accumulate that way, as deep into sort of the hole as possible. So, I guess from my perspective on the prediction marketplace, I'm thinking about how you could, because really a predictions marketplace is an options contract, number one, and it's a very short term options, right? So it's like a 1 minute or 5 minute or 10 minute options contract.
Yes, it's for 5 minutes only.
Okay. Yes. Exactly. So, you know. Anyways, it's exciting to me. I think predictions. I love to see people, betting. What's the currency that they would be betting? Are they betting USDC or USDT, or is there another asset?
No, it's for the native coin, Oraichain's coin, native coin.
So you bet the native coin against the native asset price.
Yes, 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 yes.
Interesting. That's kind of juicy. I'm into it, man. I think that's great. Like, I have to like think about it so hard. I don't know if I've ever thought about doing that before.
Because
Um,
because due because due to this, user can buy more and more Oraichain tokens to bet on our prediction marketplace.
yeah, I mean that's. I mean, look, I'm not going to argue with you. Make Orion casino currency, and you're going to win a lot of fans.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. We have some straight degens. I mean, I'm a degen. I'm actually, while we're talking, I was thinking about sports betting for the week one in the NFL just to make it a more fun week one experience.
oh, that reminds me. I have my fantasy football league draft at like midnight tonight. My wife is going to kill me.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I haven't done fantasy football in years because I won back to back, and it was just like it became unfun because the people that I was playing with, all they did was complain. It was like not even that much money to be in the league. It was like $50 buy-in, and it's like, bro, like it's just not that much money. Why are people literally crying and complaining all the time? And so I won back to back, and I retired, but. I was thinking of coming out of retirement because it does make watching the games more fun. Like because it'll be a random game on. It's like, oh yeah, I have the running back on this team or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do it, but I definitely think I'm going to get into some sports betting this year. I think it's just makes the games a lot more fun.
I feel like somehow like gambling is like not my favorite utility of crypto, but it's undeniable that our current user graph is like definitely leans in that direction where the speculation is the most fun, right? It's not like so much like future of financial freedom type stuff. It's like trying to get rich quick. Even like small bets are exciting to people. So, anyways, I'm hyped on it. It seems good. Ja, I think that it would be really good for you to touch base with the DeFi Lens team, because DeFi Lens is also has a bit of a predictions market, although their predictions market is 100% off chain, right? So it's not, you're not betting real currency, but there is sort of like real time charting tools that they are using in there, and then you essentially like sort of bet XP whether the price is going to go up or down. And that's their market, but maybe it could be a good integration for you. So let me try to introduce you with those guys and see if there's any cool synergies there to sort of to bring this to life.
For sure, buddy.
Interesting insights. So yeah, guys, I guess these were the builders who were like right now available, and I guess like couple of more builders are there who would love to get in touch base with you and you Tyre and Horse because and get some good insights in future. So before that, like I just want to ask you, like, is there any closing thoughts you want to give? Any suggestions or advice to make it better, to make their pitches better, to make their strategy better for go to market and stuff like that?
Yeah, I guess what I would really like to see happen, and maybe we should do it another call next week, right? Um, and what I would like to see sort of happen in the next week, and you can give this assignment to the community, is to prepare like a 5 slide pitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that can be shared on social media that tells people of the what you're building, how you plan the POC to be. Um, let everybody sort of see it, because we can talk about it in these spaces, but
Mm-hmm.
most important thing as a founder, right, is to be able to like get your message out there. So put it on paper as a deck. Like again, it doesn't have to be like a crazy pitch deck. Do a few slides, very TLDR approach, right? Make it simple to understand, and then let's have another call. Let's try to have a call next week. And I'm happy to Vinay. I shared my Calendly with you, so
Yeah.
share it with all of the founders. People can book time with me to like look at their pitch decks ahead of time, but it would be good to sort of go through and refine that pitch to make sure that people are giving the best pitch of their product as possible. Pitching is not easy. You have to do it a lot to get it right, and you have to know what the value add of your product is, and put that up front, right, and in front of people right away. So across all of the pitches today, I'm really grateful to hear everybody. Well, one thing I would say that could be improved is being able to not only say what you're building, but how it's a game changer, and then sharing the passion about that you have as a founder, because those are the types of things that are going to help you in the future to raise money, to get investment, and all of that. So I want to encourage everybody to keep going. I'm here as a resource for you, so feel free to schedule a time and come speak with me. And yeah, I appreciate everybody joining today.
Great. Any thoughts from your side, Horse?
No, I just want to thank everyone that tuned in, listens recording. As always, definitely reach out. I'm interested in what everyone's doing and want to keep in touch. So definitely keep in touch, and thank you, everyone.
Great. Would love to share these message for to the builders, and I guess they will be like coming next week with more stronger pitches, and would love to see more improvement and amazing stuff that they are building.
All right, I guess. First of all, thank you all the builders who have joined us today. And well, please, pass on the message to other builders who are not able to join us today, so that they can continue working on their projects and improving. And for sure, I'll share Tyree's calendar with you. So
Sure,
just
man.
share it with all the builders who are interested in connecting base with Tyree and having some kind of feedbacks and brainstorming, have some kind of brainstorming call with him.
Sure, definitely.
All right, everyone, have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Take care.
Take
Same
care.
to you.
Have
Bye
a good day.
bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.